Now, the pressure on the French president coming as we've seen over the past weeks, more and more young people strike every Friday against the inaction, they say, of political leaders when it comes to tackling the climate change. With us to talk about it ahead of what's billed as a very big day of demonstrations here in Paris. 3 students from the Lycée International in the Paris suburb of Saint-Germaine-En-Laye were in the company of Elisa Corcoran, Franco-American student, 17.
Yep.
Also with us, Janna Husson,
Yep.
Franco-Irish student.
Franco-American.
Franco-American.
Elisa's Franco-Irish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And a Franco-Australian is with us as well. Tilly, Jamart, all 3 of you attending tomorrow's demonstration.
Yes.
First time?
Personally, yeah.
First time for me. This is my first protest, yes. But
This is my first one about climate change.
First protest. And what's brought you out for tomorrow? Why are you going out tomorrow? And
pure fear, I guess. It's really starting to become, I mean, the climate change has always been something that we've learned about in class and things like that. And it's a topic that we learn about in sophomore year. But now it's really starting to affect us. And I mean, it has been for years. And thanks to Greta, the Swedish young woman who started speaking up against the government.
The 16-year-old who on her own was every Friday started the strikes.
Exactly. So that's really like, it's a pride for us to know that a young woman just who's representing us and our voices is able to stand up like that. And it's really given us like a chance to use our voices as well. So.
A chance to use your voices. It's a funny thing, right? You're going on strike tomorrow, so you're cutting class, but it's not really playing hooky, is it? The teachers, how are the teachers? Are they supportive? Are they saying, well, do your homework before you go? How does it work?
Well, I haven't talked to all my teachers, but our American section teachers, our English teachers, particularly we've spoken to them, and they've really been encouraging us because this is really an important topic, and I think missing a math class will be fine for this cause.
Missing a math class, Tilly, Jamart, how do you think of the way what do you think of the media coverage of the youth protests that we've seen every Friday?
Well, from what I've seen, big newspapers are covering it, and that's how I personally found out about it. The Guardian, that's where I read about it. I feel like it's also reaching people our age because of social media, WhatsApp, Instagram. That's what we've been using to connect. So I feel like it's been covered pretty well, more than any other protest that I've seen.
Is
so
it
far.
genuinely a topic of conversation among your peers?
It really is. There are people
Definitely,
outside schools handing out flyers saying, "Come to the strike, come to the march, be a part of it." It's something that I have never seen this much engagement in a subject in a long time, in our school at least.
Because cynics say, "Oh yeah, young people today, they're not as interested in politics as in the past."
Well, I mean, people are saying, politicians saying, oh, you guys are skipping school. Like, no, your education is more important. If you're so concerned about our education, then do something about our futures. I mean, if you want us to keep learning, then, I mean, we don't have a planet B to learn in. I mean, this is our chance. So, like, help us if you're so concerned about our education.
Okay, so what concrete steps are you personally undertaking, and what concrete steps do you want to see your leaders take?
Well, I personally am one of the leaders of the human rights team at our school. So, I mean, that's a lot of talking, I guess I would say. But personally, I've been seeing over the years, like, the wildfires that have been going on. I recently had, in my little neighborhood, have a tornado. So, like, extreme weather like that. I mean, it's there, and it's a crisis, and nobody's doing anything. So, I mean, less greenhouse gases, you know, like, and the fact that we have to tell our government that this is a crisis now. I mean, who are the adults here? They are. They put us in this mess to begin with, and now they're telling us to fix it. So, it's just a shame that we're the ones who need to be telling them this.
Yeah, I think more about what we're actually doing, even in our houses, recycling compost bins, using recyclable bottles instead of plastic ones. We even see documentaries. Well, personally, I watched a documentary called Blue recently, where they were showing how birds are eating plastic that humans are putting in the ocean. It's all really connected, and I feel like it's coming out more and more. And it's less about the politics now, and it's more about this is our world, this is our planet. We don't care which country you're from, which politician is speaking about it. We all have to unite to fight this.
Okay, but it is about politics. I mean, you at some point or another, people at the same time, yeah, they want to save the planet, but they want to be able to get around town in their car, or they don't want to pay so much for their fuel bill.
Yes, and that's one part of it, which is the part that people are facing the troubles with nowadays. But I think that the point of the youth nowadays, and also Greta and all of that, is to say, we realize that we have those issues, but if we always stop once we're faced with issues, we're never going to get anywhere. And that's what we've done up until today.
So does that mean for you personally, say, never, like taking the plane a little bit less? Because
if we all have to do something, if it's between taking a plane less and my kids never being able to live on this planet Earth, I'd personally prefer taking the plane less.
I think it's definitely, we're really lucky in France to have really good methods of transportation other than the car all the time, and these public transports, which there aren't as much of in the US, in certain cities where it's more complicated to create and to have a stable system. So I think we should definitely take advantage of that all the time.
So Elisa, what's your reaction to the news we just reported on? On the one hand, the French president hosting a one planet summit to help the world go green, and at the same time being sued by environmentalists in this country, saying, well, the French state is being hypocritical, it's not doing enough.
Yeah, I think it's well, we see a lot of talk about it and saying what we could do, what we promised to do, but we still see such how climate change affects us every day and how it has affected the world so much, but we haven't seen that many big steps or big results related to it, and I think that's what people are criticizing, and that's what it's the problem.
To add on to that, I think it's at this point that's also part of it, which is there's always going to be a good part, a bad part, somebody for it, somebody against it, and this is one thing. Climate change is one thing where everyone's agreeing.
All right, practically speaking, how does it work tomorrow? What's going on? Where are you meeting up?
Well, we're meeting at the Place du Panthéon, so I know that...
In the heart of the Latin Quarter.
Exactly. So students from our school, around 200, we've all decided to meet in Saint-Germain, take the train all together to meet up, to go to Paris and to meet up with the other students who will be there, who... I mean, we'll all come together to fight for something that we care about.
In hand.
And it's not just students, they called out to adults, to teachers, anybody who supports this cause.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Tilly Jamart, Janna Husson, and Elisa Corcoran. Best of luck to you. Thank you for joining us here on France 24.